I'm Dancy or Sebastian. I'm the solo developer of Tales of the Laser Knights, an action adventure inspired by Zelda, 2D Mystic Quest, set in a sci-fi universe. You explore 5 worlds. You fight through masses of enemies. You upgrade your weapon and try to save the galaxy. Currently in the demo, you can play half of the first planet, the desert planet. In the full game, you will upgrade your spaceship to get to new planets. It's going to be 5. I had at some point. I want to have 10 planets, but you know how it is. Indie games don't have the money to do that. So you have 5 planets. You progress. It's a little bit like, let's say, Super Mario Odyssey. You upgrade your spaceship to get to the next planet.
Yeah.
Then you have lots of dungeons, smaller dungeons that you can explore. Upgrade your weapons with the resources you'll find. And you will meet, let's say, crazy, strange people, aliens that will give you tasks. And you need to help them fight against the evil corporation. I'm very good at with naming.
Yeah. Do you already have an idea about the other planets? Have you already developed something, or it still has to be done?
Let's say the first planet is pretty much working for demo version. It's not final. And then the more you progress towards the 5th planet, the less I have. Let's say the 5th is roughly shaped, blocked out, but there are missing dungeons. So the more you progress currently in the game, the less content you will find. I'm currently building bosses. But I say that the building such a large game, it's hard to create it step by step.
Yeah.
So at some
Yeah.
point, I will now create basic versions of the end bosses so that I can sort a little bit and then see how the progress will be. When will you reach which end boss? I'm blocking out the basic levels to reach the end bosses, but I'm trying to really make them only blocked out. And will at some point, when everything is blocked out, I will try to get playtesters and do the same that I did with the demo version. The demo version, we did like 5 persons. We playtested it. It evolved more and more. It's not perfect. Still struggle with level design, and I want to do more on the AI side, on enemy behaviors. But somewhere here we are. You know, these were the games of my youth. Zelda 2D,
Okay.
Mystic Quest on Game Boy. I thought about your questions, and it's mostly the music. If I think now about it, it's 20 years, 30 years ago, it's
Yeah.
mostly the music that still comes to my mind. It's feeling that I got by the music.
Yeah.
So I think that was the inspiration. These 2 games, Zelda, Mystic Quest, and then I would say in general Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay.
I'd say I've been working for 10 years in the business, in the gaming
Mhm.
business. And I was working for an agency. So we created games for other people. We did the ideas of other people. And at some point, you get to that, hey, I can do that, but I'm doing other people's stuff and I
Yeah.
can do my own. That was the big inspiration. And over the years, with my former colleagues, we always wanted to do a game. We started, then at some point, you know how it is. You do private projects, somebody has no time, somebody jumps off the project and then just collapses. And over the years, I started, I think it was one space shooter game, it was one build your castle and shoot the others game. It evolved code-wise. I took code from each project to the next project. And the space shooter we did before is basically, from a technology-wise, it's the
Yeah.
same than the game now. You see it from top and you walk around or fly around with your spaceship. So it evolved with time, let's say. Let's say from my experience, I can do 3D models. So everything you
Okay.
see in 3D is either done by me in a dev art quality, let's say. It's not super perfect, but it will evolve. There's The smaller parts are taken from asset store packages, like furniture or
Yeah.
the smaller parts, let's say. And what I can actually not do is 2D art. So I had Nadim Arnaud, who did the 2D characters, super good work. He did the cover artwork. Then there was David Roterberg, who did the UI, also 2D, not my stuff. Then music, can do a little bit of music, but not in a professional way.
Yeah.
So I
Actually,
have
music is a very important part.
I think for the game I'm doing, it's super important. Like I said, it's my inspiration. The music is the overall feeling that it gives in the game is the music.
Yeah.
So that was Oliver, and then we have Walter Mack, who just wrote me, "Hey, I want to do the voice of Zach," and I heard like some animes from him. I watched them and I heard the voice, and I said, "That's it. That is Zach, the main character. That's his voice." So yeah, everything I cannot do, I have to outsource. Something will happen. We try to get some subventions. Benjamin Britten, another 3D artist, he wanted
Yeah.
to join the project. And if that would have worked out, we would have a much more beautiful game. He's a 3D artist. He can do that. I'm doing 3D art as far as I can. And if he would have joined, it would be a super large game. I would have added lots of, I don't know, side quests, some games you can play, mini games. Currently, of course, like everybody, struggle financially. So I try to finish the core game now. If you have a linear experience, you can play the game through and it's finished. And I think currently I will go for that route. Try to, you know, in half a year or a year, finish the game as far as possible and do somehow
Yeah.
playtesting. Yeah, that will be the plan. It's struggling financially. I have to finish it now. It's a little bit too big for the first project, I would say now. I'd say from the effort it takes to go on other platforms, for the moment stay on Steam. I have it on itch.io, but I don't see any numbers. I don't know what downloads it. Steam is, let's say, one effort I'm doing. Maybe if it's finished, I will go to other console or something, PlayStation. But
Yeah.
currently, it's for us indie developers. You have to decide on what you do. Steam is a big part. Then let's say you add Epic Games, that will be a small percentage you add.
Yeah.
The same when you do a Mac version. Mac version you get less than a
Sure.
percent from that. Don't do it. It's not worth the effort. I would, for the moment, I stay with Steam. Steam, I don't know. They have, as far as I've seen, they have the best environment for indie game developers. Still watching out for the right. That's the thing I have not done for the last, or not enough for the last 5 years. I'm doing TikTok videos and stuff, hoping that someone will click and like it. Marketing will be soon point. I have no real experience in that field.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
thinking of taking like, you know how it is with finances and so. Taking
Yeah.
$500, $1,000, give it to someone and say, hey, what can you do with that? Let's see.
Yeah. That's
Maybe I would do that.
that's
Sure.
the stopping point of indie game development, that you probably at some point you have to spend money, but you never know if you will get this money back, because it's yeah,
Actually,
a
the
risk.
first game, my first game, that is also a problem. Too big for the first game. I already have plans for the next games that will be really smaller. You have to, is it diversify? I don't know. As an indie game developer, your first game may not be the biggest. You will not have a number one hit with your first game. Yes, for more than 10 years, I was a full-time game developer. Then last year, big layoffs in the industry last year.
Yeah.
Crash, let's say. And since 10 months, I've been working full time on Tales of the Laser Knights. I wanted to do it as a full-time job, get subventions, get something, get somewhere, get money. But I'm getting to the point where it doesn't. So
Okay.
I am a full-time developer. I want to stay in the business. Let's see how it goes. Currently, the numbers are not so. For most of the time, it was Unity. The company that we worked at was an agency. I think I already told you. And Unity is the fastest approach for an agency to deliver stuff. 3 years ago, so we started testing out Unreal, which was an experience. I like Unreal. I like the whole approach.
Yeah.
The only thing is, coding-wise, I'm slower because of the building, the C++ part and stuff. I'm very slow. And of course, C++ is more complex. You have to add everything in the file and blah, blah, blah. So I had it was super cool to work with Unreal. And
Yeah.
then, I said, let me think. I already had started with Tales of Laser Knights. And at that point, I thought, well, if I would start it now, I would use Unreal, definitely. Because of the tools that they have and everything. From the experience, it's better to use Unity. For me, because I have more than 10 years, it's just, I think Unreal you can get really fast to what you want to do. If you have standard stuff like 6-person shooter, top down or something, you can get really fast to that point that you have something playable. And I think how everything is interconnected with blueprints, super cool in Unreal. That is something that Unity is missing. We
Yeah.
just had a talk. Unity,
I
if you are starting,
I never thought about that actually. That's true.
if you're starting code, I would say start with Unity because you have to code. In Unreal, you don't have to. You just use the nodes and interconnect everything. And at some point, you can code, but then you are at that C++ thing. So the barrier to start coding is a little bit
Yeah.
more frustrating. Let's say. If you're a beginner, I would start with Unity. How you say you want to be a developer, then it comes to that, it's called a tax process. And it goes over US, so you have to really be precise about your stuff because they check back. We are from Europe, they check back with Europe government, whatever. For instance, in my ID, my 2 forenames are switched because my father did some same stuff when I was born. And it took me 2 weeks to have the right connection of names so that they could connect to Germany or I don't know, to the German tax government stuff, whatever. And I had to do that like 5 times until I have the right name and stuff. Currently, I'm on my own tax because I'm not selling yet. It's still a demo version. But at some point, I will have to do either create a company, but I have to get the tax number. And I have to switch that on Steam. Let's see how that goes. I hope the support is pretty good in Steam. If you write them, they will answer not immediately, but within 3 days or so. And then, let's see how that goes. I have to switch accounts, let's say. Yeah. Other than that, they have lots of rules when you want to publish your stuff. You have to have all the screenshots and stuff in place. Every image has to be in the correct format and stuff. Then you want to do a demo version. You have like a banner here saying demo, so nothing may touch the banner and stuff. They have strict rules, but I think they lead you pretty good through the process. If you decide to have multiple languages, the effort grows and grows. Now I have to do German and English. It's a lot of stuff to do for every release. When you want to do a devlog, you have to do it in German and English and stuff like that. I would say in the end, I bought a lot of asset packages, like for the NavMesh, for the AI, for the character controller, for effects, for whatnot. And when you come to the place that something is broken, and you notice, it could be my code, but could be maybe the nav mesh, and you start talking to the developer of that asset, and you go back and forth. You have to deliver stuff. Hey, here's my project. Please try it out. It doesn't work. That makes it overly complicated, back and forth and stuff. Other than that, let's say everything I cannot solve, I try to get rid of the feature. I was thinking about maybe having something like time freezing, where everything else freezes and only the player can still run. But that would mean reworking everything that has timing in it. So I said, okay, come on, it doesn't work. But maybe the part that I'm most proud of is I started working with Cinematic Character Controller 5 years ago, which is a tool to get the characters, the enemies and everything working around and having the right physics connections. And they stopped developing that tool, but made it open source, so I could download the code. And since then, I have been working on that. I didn't choose another character controller. I worked with that. And I'm not super deep into it, but I'm pretty proud. I further developed that character controller with physics and stuff so that it works for my game. Maybe that would be the thing that I'm most proud of. Physics, you always try to, let Unity do that stuff.
Yeah.
But for a character controller, for having the right controls, you press the button, everything works exactly as you want. That is super cool to know which code does what. That's what I'm doing.
Very well. See, we found something. So
for me, it's always the bigger picture. I'm not. I programmed this and that and these details, but when you put everything together, that is development. Not really. I wanted to do it this year. Let's see how the finance stuff goes. I might have to find a real job, and then it will be 2026. See, I hope. Good thing I have no pressure, If I'm going into another job, it will be a hobby project. I can do it in 5 years. I can do it in 2 years. Let's see. And I just want to say thank you. Super cool. It was nice, the conversation. Let's see that we can meet again. Would be great.
I hope so. Next time in person.